Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to I don't actually know what the name of the raid series is called. We're doing the Omega raids. They're just called Omega, I guess. Yeah, it looks like they're just called Omega. It's not like Shadowbringers, which has Eden or Endwalker with Pandemonium. It's literally just called Omega. Alrighty, that's fine. So yeah, welcome to the Omega raids. We're not going to be doing these as Viper. That just happens to be the class that I currently have loaded up. Actually didn't think about this ahead of time. So I actually gotta stop and think what would be a good level 70 class to run this as. Because I don't actually have a lot of classes at 70 yet, as you can see. I've also got some that are above, and I kind of want to not run it with those, right? I suppose there are... I suppose the tank classes would be fine. So, why don't we do that? We'll run it as Gunbreaker, because why not? If I'm remembering correctly from what I've read, it was Samurai and Red Mage that came out in Stormblood. So, but I mean, I guess we could do Red Mage. I think I'm probably just gonna do this as Gunbreaker though. So, hunt for Omega. Wedgeware is the expression of a man at his wit's end. Rin, thank the gods you're here. We need your help. In case you haven't heard, set up operations at Ralgar's Reach while we look for Omega. It's been decidedly slow going, I'm sorry to say, and we still haven't seen the blasted thing since it disappeared during the battle with Shinryu. Which is not to say we haven't made any progress. We know now that Shinryu ended up in the Imperial's hands, and it was shackled with some very distinctive looking bindings when they found it. Obviously, only you know what could have done something like that. And the fact that the restraints were still functioning suggests it didn't shut down when the chief instructed it to either. Anyway, we're getting close to identifying Omega's whereabouts when we encountered what you might call a problem. Mayhap it would be best if you came to the workshop and saw for yourself. Alrighty. So, right on over here. It's Jesse! I think this is the first time that we actually see Jesse. But also, it's Nero! Surprised? Aye, so were we. He's been brought in as a consultant, believe it or not. Not many times do I have to tell you, you will play no part in this investigation. Your motives were dubious from the first, and nothing you have done since has served to make them any clearer. Out of necessity, I agreed to take part in Omega's activation. That would be the extent of our cooperation. Passing judgment without due consideration, openly disparaging colleagues, not very chiefly of you, Chief. I'll have you know I'm a sensitive new recruit who thrives on encouragement. Then I trust you'll thrive elsewhere where I encourage you to piss off. We'll not have him on our roster, Jesse. Never mind anywhere near our work. His employment is to be terminated effective immediately. Thing is, Chief, I've already paid him in full. Wasn't exactly a pittance either. 4/5 what you get. 4/5. 4/5 what you get was the agreement. Look, whatever disagreement you might have had in the past, fact is we could do with his expertise now. Let him earn his keep at the very least. I don't believe this. You claim my wholly justified ventures represent an unsustainable risk to the ironworks, and then pay him a sultan's ransom in advance. Him. Give me strength. It's been away of it for a while now, on account of which we've had to put the investigation on hold. Let me know how it goes. I'm leaving. Let's investigate by ourselves. Tisk. Much as I admire your enthusiasm, hero, you will not get very far without some brains to complement your admirable brawn. Happily, I am blessed with the surfeit of the former. From this moment forth, you should be my chaperone. With the realm's savior watching my every move, I couldn't possibly make any mischief, which should surely serve to allay my employer's concerns. Forgive me, Rin. It was not my intent to embroil you in this mess. I didn't even know you were here. Seeing as you are, though, I cannot deny that I would be glad to have you on board. Sorry, I'm trying to... The freaking chair that I'm sitting in is not in, like, a good position. And it's actually, like, hurting. To, like, sit in the chair and have the mic while also freaking, like, being in a good position for the game. I think I also just have the chair leaning back too far. Fact is, we are no closer to understanding the true extent of Omega's powers. And even if it was damaged during its encounter with Shinryu, it seems highly doubtful that we'll be able to disable it unaided. We've got as far as oh my gosh. Freaking, I don't know, I have problems reading sometimes. We have got as far as identifying its likely resting place. But I, for one, would feel a lot more confident about surveying the area with you around to deal with any unexpected surprises. Might I persuade you to lend us a hand once more, old friend? Then it's settled. Chief, we have a problem. Aetheric concentration levels at the yawn are soaring. Our readings doubled from one moment to the next. By the time we went to check them, they've doubled again. What? That could only mean. Evacuate the site. I shall handle this matter personally. Big Wedge, Rin, I need you to meet with me at the yawn, to the south of here. That's where we believe Omega came to rest. Jesse, hold the fort while I'm gone, and if possible, continue surveillance from a safe distance. Alright, Chief. Watch yourself out there. Ugh. Am I to stay and mind the shop too? Oh no, I'm not letting you out of my sight. But before you fill the room with maniacal laughter, I want you to remember something. When you collected your inexplicably lavish fee, the Ironworks creed became your creed. That's freedom through technology, in case you've forgotten, not supremacy through Allegon ingenuity. Breach this contract and I will have my pounds of flesh. Pounds. Pounds? It's basically ounce. I will have my ounce of flesh. I think it's an old English term. Like, they use a lot of old English terms in this. Which, if you don't know that that's what they are, it comes off as really strange. But once you're, like, aware of that, it's like, oh, actually, okay. That does kind of make sense that they would do that. But I don't care. It's still really annoying. Also, I could have gone through that other area now that I'm looking at it. And the yawn is down this way. In fact, I think it's literally like all the freaking way down here. Probably could have gone to the Peering Stones as a quick teleport. But, oh well, we're already flying there as is. At this point, it would take longer. Because there's the Peering Stones right there. So, there's the yawn. It's a great big hole. Until you start these quests, anyway. Once you start these quests, it stops being a great big hole and becomes a big purple lake of goo. Huh. Would you look at that? I figured this was a good time to do the Omega raids, since they are the Moogle tomes, so everybody's going to be running them for tomes, so hopefully it shouldn't be difficult to get into each one. You know, hopefully. What in the seven hells is going on here? Veritable sea of condensed ether. Our precious has been busy. What villainy is this? What villainy is this? We'd go somewhere. In slumber sweet have I lain since mine offspring's war with man did end, yet I could not choose but stir at this abhorrent stench. Also, actually, don't I have like a... well, I'm maybe not in this, because this is freaking Voice Mod 2, which is... freaking Voice Mod 3 or whatever, which is freaking stupid. I really should just like go and grab freaking Voice Mod 2 to still have that available. But there used to be like an echo voice like that added just like a reverb. Yeah, like that. That's actually what I'm looking for. Whoops, wrong button. Technically, it's a cave voice, but it adds a nice, little reverb there. So, have care, mortal, for within this great hollow lieth Omega. Also, can I freaking turn off the stupid, like, sounds that play each time? Is that the one? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. Long have we known one another. Our history spanneth eons and stars. Alpha! Oh God, what's happening? Hello, Alpha. Chief, get out of here! You're not dead. Apparently not. Passed straight through me, as if it were some sort of illusion. "'Tis one of Omega's creations. Omega is a weapon wrought in a place beyond the reach of thy kind, capable of weaving ether into life. The serpent is yet unfinished, but doubt not that it will become a corporeal threat ere long." Well, whatever it is, it's gone. Well, this particular thing remains. Or while this particular thing remains, rather. Great! It looks like a chocobo, and Quez like a chocobo. I'm thinking it's probably a chocobo. Doesn't look like any chocobo I've ever seen. This is more what this is what a chocobo looks like. Look at that. Hey, look at that beast. Freaking Roger looks great. Hello, chocobo. It's Chocobo-chan! Great. White Quez isn't unlike a chocobo, but looks more like a stuffed doll to me. It's definitely a chocobo, trust me on this. The ones we Lalafels ride are all about the size, aren't they? I suppose. Alright, let's go with chocobo for now. Thy mistress's blessing extended not unto this creature's soul, then. Very well. As this matter concerneth Omega, I shall speak with it in thy stead. Rin, aren't you going to introduce us to your knowledgeable little dragon friend? Oh yeah, this is Midgar Summer. He was still kind of alive, and after I fought him in the Keeper of the Lake, he kind of became like Minnie. So, what? The Midgar Summer fought and fell at the Battle of Silvertear Skies. And here I was, content to be traveling in the company of just one legend. Without wishing to offend you, hero, Father of Dragons does have something you do not. That being relevant knowledge. There's much we can learn from him. Little and less is known about Omega's origin. It first appeared in records dating back to the Third Astral Era, before the Elegon Empire reached its zenith. And said records had but only one thing to say: Omega activation successful. In the centuries that followed, the Elegons enjoyed rapid technological development, but there was nary a further mention of Omega until its capture of Bahamut. Its existence is a mystery among mysteries, tale among tales. It was always assumed that the Elegons built it, and I had no reason to believe otherwise. But now Midgard-Sommer tells us it's not even of our world. Just so, it haileth from another star. More than that I will not say. I have spoken with this being. It telleth of a strange plane beyond this hollow, wherein it did reside from the moment of its creation. For reasons unknown, it was ordered to fight. Yet being weak, it chose flight instead, and thus crossed over onto this world. Ordered to fight? By Omega? Why in the seven hells would it do that? To put its creations to the proof. If you would know more, go forth and look upon the truth with your own eyes. Wait, you're saying we should jump in? You have naught to fear from the fall. The hollow hath become a portal into Omega's domain. Once there, the being shall guide you. Servant of Heidelin, fate bindeth me to Omega. If it be thine intent to pursue it, I shall lend thee my strength. So you, really can show us around inside the hole, can you? Wee-wee! It's duty time! Well, I doubt any of us imagined things would come to this, but the Father of Dragons has given his assurance. Let us take our investigation into the yawn. I have already apprised Jessie of our intent and instructed her to have our engineers on standby. As we have no way of knowing what awaits us in there, I need you to be ready for anything. Are you? Yes, indeedy-doody. Let us begin. Kind of assumed Midgard-Sommer was going to say something, but apparently not. Into the interdimensional rift. We have become transparent. I love the way that they show you that you're transparent by sliding Alpha behind you. What is this place? What's wrong with us? I can see straight through me. Welcome home, Alpha. Welcome, mortals. I am Omega, and I have awaited your coming. I can communicate you now via one of my monitors. You stand in the rift between dimensions, where a vital experiment is presently in progress. Your participation is appreciated. Please indicate your consent. Experiment? Want our participation? Have to tell us a little more than that. We're disappearing. Non-participating entities will be summarily erased. Please indicate your consent. seems we can't even exist here without Omega's leave. I think it's fairly clear what we have to do, don't you? Alright, we consent. Thank you for your cooperation. You are provisionally assigned to the Alpha Group. Oh boy. Serial Rift. The interdimensional rift. It's like some manner of tower or egg. The aim of the experiment is to determine the mightiest being in creation. To that end, 89 candidates have been selected and recreated. They are grouped by dimension, matched by strength, and pitted against one another. That which you identify as a Chocobo is Subject Alpha, and you have been assigned to its group. The assignation is tentative, however, pending an assessment of your fitness to serve as fully fledged test subjects. Your combat capabilities will be evaluated shortly. Combat capabilities? You mean you want us to fight? Affirmative. A course shall be constructed for this purpose, through which you must attempt to fight your way. Your suitability will be confirmed upon reaching the Deltascape test world beyond. Please note, however, that only entities with only entities with existential, oh my god, I could not read that word. Only entities with existential authorization may interact with objects in the rift. Of your number, only Alpha has this at present. Before you may engage in combat, said authorization must be temporarily transferred to you. Ha! The invitation from Omega itself. Now, not even I could have foreseen this. We are accepting it, of course. Preferable to summary erasures, I'm sure you'll agree. Alpha, was it? My colleagues and I are minded to participate in Omega's experiment. Will you transfer your authorization to us? Existential authorization transferred. Subjects ready to engage. Please begin at your own convenience and proceed as directed. No telling what awaits. Stay sharp. Where do we go exactly? Would help if there were a path. I think this floor moves. So I'll gather at the center. Is that one of those monsters? Different to the ones earlier. Take the lead, Rin. We'll follow. Go ahead and pick up Royal Guard. What's this cube now? Suspect we're about to find out. Oh, I see. Good. Protect by some kind of barrier. Barriers are my specialty. I'll have this down before you know it. I was not paying attention to the fact that I was getting invulnerable notifications. This is my kind of battle. Chief, something's happening with the cube. Oh, it changes into a life form. A hostile one at that. See to the creature. Wedge, keep out the barrier. Cage, watch his back. I was wondering why I wasn't getting any shells. Come on, I'm working on it. I completely missed that that he had a barrier around him. Another one. Seems they'll continue spawning so long as the monitor is operational. It's out of commission. Triggers to reverse the barrier's energy current. Well done, Wedge. That leaves just the enemy. Chief Second Cube's about to turn. Finish it quickly and be on our way. Of course, this is before Gunbreaker was in the game yet, so they couldn't just have Nero doing Gunbreaker stuff. Sid is just standard, like, Paladin stance, I think. But he's had, like, a gun anyway. Some kind of teleporter? Give it a try. Hey, wait! Someone's eager. Come on, let's follow. I wonder what awaits. Relocate to point 2. Whee! Point 2. Right, same approach as before. Wedge and Biggs, the monitor is yours. The rest of us will tend to the enemy. Whenever you're ready, Rin. They're Badlanders. Or Baldanders. Not Badland, Baldander. Whatever that means. Spawning fast. Hurry, Wedge. It's alright. They're not particularly difficult. You know? I'm either down and out. I informed today or what? Sure, Wedge. Give us a moment while we clean things up. It is really funny to watch them just use freaking auto attacks, though. No hesitation. Well, of course, we're mortal. He's not wrong. The structure ahead must be the Deltascape. There are 2 monitors in the way. And Gil says there are more cubes too. Stay focused, we're almost there. I think I'm done. Qualified. No less qualified tinker with those toys. Okay, I sense a formidable presence. Behemoth, let's roll up our sleeves. One for half measures, eh, Omega? Oh, that was big guy so much. Rounce. Good thing they have a lot of HP. Duty complete. That's our goal, the Deltascape, if I'm not mistaken. What do you think is waiting for us in there? Mega said that it groups subjects by dimension. The creatures we fought on the way were merely intended to separate the wheat from the chaff. It would seem certain that the far greater challenges await inside these egg-like objects. Our fellow test subjects, most like. I'm not certain what to make of that castle. Could somehow be connected to the subjects. Great. Alpha, but hold on a moment. Shouldn't either one or the other of us be translucent? Subject confirmed to have arrived at the Deltascape. Analysis complete. Congratulations, you are approved for participation. Your strength places you in the self-same tier as Alpha, the feeblest and farthest removed from myself. Nonetheless, you are now fully fledged test subjects. Welcome, weakest of challengers. As corporeal life forms, you need not undergo development within the test world. Instead, you may use the space freely. Not quite what I would have chosen, but one must make do. Speaking of which, what is it that we're supposed to do exactly? You ought to enter the Deltascape and defeat all test subjects within. Please note, however, that the strength in numbers will not be acknowledged, or that strength in numbers will not be acknowledged. There is a strict limit upon how many entities may participate in combat. Only a small party may have existential authorization transferred from Alpha. Good luck. So the eggs do contain our fellow test subjects, just as I predicted, eh, Garland? Before we turn our thoughts to the Deltascape, I suggest we set up a base of operations here. The temporary camp. Somewhat cobbled together, but this should suffice as a base of operations. Take heart, old friend. Though every step we take seems to raise more questions, you'll wade through this mire of mysteries eventually. Of that I have no doubts. Into the Deltascape! Sid is eager to proceed with the investigation. Right then, what to do next? We know that Omega is conducting tests to determine the strongest being, but we do not know its ultimate purpose, nor even its exact whereabouts. Sorry, I took a drink and it like strained me. That was very strange. Plainly, however, it is within Omega's power to curtail our stay here whensoever it chooses. Accordingly, we have little choice but to proceed as bidden and defeat the test subjects waiting in the Deltascape. Well, Alpha certainly seems keen. It might be best if you left the fighting to others, little one. Excuse me. That is, of course, assuming others are willing. What say you, old friend? This promises to be a most entertaining foray. I would not dream of missing any part of it. You may rely on me to provide you with remote support. With commendable foresight, I took the liberty of borrowing the various monitors that were lying around. I shall extract all the information I can from them. Tis a pity none of us speak Chocobo. As I recall, though, we are supposed to have Alpha transfer his authorization to us prior to engaging in combat. In which case, Rin, you'll need him to accompany you into the Deltascape. See to your preparations and proceed whenever you are ready. Deltascape version 1.0. Oh no, I have to actually talk to Alpha first. That makes sense. Alpha appears eager to proceed. You may enter Deltascape 1.0 whenever you are ready. Deltascape! Now accessible. Alright. Time to see how easy or difficult it is to get into each of the different Deltascapes. Because, I mean, you can only queue for 5 things. And Deltascape 1 was one of the ones that I was queuing for. That doesn't mean it's one of the ones that other people are queuing for. So, that said, while we are waiting on that, I would like to... Actually, I don't even know if I have. I'm thinking maybe the reason that I currently have this gunbreaker weapon as like the glam might be that I may not actually have any other gunbreaker like weapon glams, and if so, that is in fact correct. So I need to go get one. So I guess I'll go do that while we're waiting. And I will unpause whenever the queue pops. Oh, here we go. All right. Deltascape. Hey look, it's alt-right. And do you hear me? Opponent's called alt-right. I deal what that name means, but good luck. That should do. I just shirked about 25% of my aggro over to the other tank. I wonder if they will actually think that I'm new, because I know the mechanics, or at least of this guy. Done them a couple of times, just in the Tombstone event here. I haven't been doing everything, just some of my favorite ones, so. Well. I didn't even get into the thing on time. I can't even shirk. We could go ahead and release Royal Guard for a moment. That should help with the warrior getting aggro back. And I can shirk again. I mean, I'm the second highest on the aggro list, so it should be fine. Whether I have Royal Guard up or not. But Gunbreaker does do some DPS. I think you want that to hit the 2 tanks. I think that's technically a dual tank like thing, thing. Oh, alright. Don't be this. Just freaking steal all of our health. Zoop. Bye-bye. Good. 2 irregular tombstones. Also, that was the weekly challenge for week 1 on the Moogle event. So I'll grab those. I don't remember who the next one is. Don't remember if it's the gravity guy or not. Well done, my friend. We were lucky enough to witness every moment of your struggle via the Deltascape's various surveillance devices. I dare say we had a better view than you did. Gaining control over them was the extent of our accomplishments for this outing. I suppose we did also learn your adversary's name. Rest assured, however, that there will be plenty much more such outings. Preliminary analysis suggests that there are 4 combatants in the Deltascape, all told, including your friend Ultrite, which means you'll be required to win 3 further bouts with deltas 2 to 4 in this test world alone. Needless to say, there are plenty more such worlds in the Rift, holding the remaining 85 subjects between them. Plainly, our host has gone to no small amount of trouble. Quite why it is so obsessed with determining the strongest being is another question. Omega seeks to improve itself, to evolve. This was ever its primary directive. Though contending with mighty foes, it groweth stronger. Having vanquished the vile simulacrum you call Shinryu, a greater adversary was needed. In the absence of such a being, it had but to create one. So in the name of self-improvement, wants to make a new playmate. It chose to undertake the task here to avoid outside interference, yes? In part, making of the life is not Omega's primary function. It bringeth complex beings into the corporeal realm, only at great cost to itself. As such, it employeth this plane to test unfinished works that might determine a single entity worthy of creation. If I understand you correctly, the moment Omega's grand experiment is complete, it will give birth to a creature mightier even than Shinryu, and then proceed to fight it. Gods help us all if a battle of that scale could come to pass. The powers unleashed would be enough to bring about another calamity. Don't worry, Sid. The 8th calamity is not caused by Omega. Assuming the dragon is the right of it, all test subjects must needs be works in progress. Save for ourselves, of course. But then how do we explain Alpha? As I recall, it manifested corporeal outside the rift. And again, it is hardly the most complex of creatures. Mayhap it was finished by accident. Don't you make fun of Alpha. He's a good boy. If it hadn't been for him, we would have all been erased. He might not be strong, but he's brave and reliable and adorable. Changing the subject for a moment, Chief, after you lost track of Omega, said you re-engaged its stasis systems, right? Meaning, something somewhere isn't working like it should. I only ask because me and Wedge have done pretty much all we can here. We're wondering if it might be worth going to Cartano to look into it. That would be a great help. You and I can handle things at this end. I hope we get to actually go to Cartano at some point. I know that that's like where the PvP is, but still. We'll be off then. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, eh? And you be a good boy, Alpha. Do as you're told and look after Rin for me. Whee! Quest complete. Catastrophe waiting. Aye, it is the Omega dude, the gravity dude. Sid seems keen to pit you against the next foe in the Deltascape. We must pray that Biggs and Wedge are able to repair the stasis system. If they can't, we will have little choice but to see Omega's experiment all the way to its bitter conclusion. A tall order, I concede, and one that would require you to prove yourself the mightiest being in creation. Well, we must hope for the best and plan for the worst. Which in this case means pressing on with the tests. Are you ready for the next foray? One moment, Chief. My analysis is yet incomplete, but it would seem Subject Delta 2 is capable of manipulating gravity. How fortunate, then, that I but recently chanced to assemble something that might mitigate the effects. An anti-gravity gimbal. Might serve you well. Quick! Deltascape 2.0. Alrighty. And, this group is nearly fully formed already. I mean, it's a healer and a DPS that appear to be missing at the moment. But of course, neither is showing up directly. So, well, why don't I just go ahead and do another little bit of pausey pause. What is this quest? Hail to the Queen. I don't immediately know what that is. Oh, maybe that's Kugane Castle. That would make sense. Yeah. Why don't I go ahead and do a little pausing, and I will be back. Oh yeah, I'll deal with that later. But I'll be back as soon as the queue pops. No sooner do I get into the inn than does the queue pop. So there's that. Oh yeah, I like that. I gotta buy cherry pink dye. Because I don't have any on me. But I can do that while we're waiting on Deltascape 3, so... Down into the middle of the castle. There it is. Catastrophe. Fitting name for the havoc it will doubtless wreak. Have fun now. This is before they had gotten the idea to put the name as just a thing across the screen. They get that idea by the next expansion, though. I don't fully remember when you're supposed to, like, float. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be float now or later. Yeah, I think the earthquake there, I think that's what you're trying to avoid. Same with this. This is another thing that you want to avoid with the anti-gravity gimbal. Somebody did not use their anti-gravity gimbal. I think I have to be float to stack on that. Because he forces the person up into the air. Now, in the Savage version, this guy has a mechanic that makes him completely impossible to solo. Because he will just straight up auto kill you. Ow. The guy was supposed to be float for that. Yep, because now he pushes back down. Now anti-light, we want to be float for. But the, that attack there where he, does that thing, I think we want to be, so there's a thing to that, I don't remember what it is. Where there's like one spot that you have to be in for that. Oh, I think these are meteors. I see that. Want to have somebody over by each of those. Because they're meteors. I think I understand that. Whee! I need a little bit of mitigation. Because he was hitting me hard there. Oop, and he's forced to get back down. Okay. Now he's going to anti-light. So we want to be down this time. Now we float before we sink. Let's do things forth its tentacles. And once again, it's a meteor type thing, I think. I really don't know that one very well. I'm gonna be honest. But his eye ray thing, the like cone attack that he does, in Savage, that applies a debuff to you. And if you get 3 of that debuff, you insta-die. And it's quite literally impossible to not take 3 of it when you're solo. Housing performance, made possible by my anti-gravity gimbal. Lest you wonder, you are not supposed to be able to send of your own volition. The device worked quite as intended. It just wasn't intended for use on living. Well, let's just say it wasn't exactly. Let's just say it wasn't exactly its intended use. At any rate, that another mighty foe laid low. May I say that I had every faith you would succeed. The Crow Queen. Oh yeah, Halicarnassus. That looks expectantly in your direction. That's right. And then it's X-Death? After this, is it? Or is that Sigmascape? That will be hearing from Biggs and Wedge for a while yet. Shall we push on here in the meantime? Reliable as ever. Without further ado then, let us move things along. According to the analysis, your next opponent, Delta 3, is a being named Halicarnassus. Halicarnassus, you say? Queen of Dimension Castle. What's this? You know of her? You mean you don't? Well, I suppose a blue-blooded brat such as you would have no interest in humble folktales. It appears a lesson is in order. Halicarnassus is a character from an ancient fable. In the tale, she's one of the chief antagonists, and as such, things aren't wont to unfold. She meets her end at the hands of the heroes. Incurably valiant youths, not unlike our adventure friend here. Literary historians have speculated that the tale could be loosely based on events which took place in the Fourth Astral Era, but little remains of that age, and there is no way to verify the claim. Indeed, most now assume the story to be a work of pure fiction. You mean to tell me that Omega is populating its grand experiment with fictional characters? 'Twould seem your understanding is yet lacking. Scant grasp have I of that which men know and know not. Mark me then, Omega hath no soul, no mind's eye in which to envision a rival. To bring forth new life. Sorry, I just, got something in my eye and could not see. To bring forth new life, I must needs draw upon that which hath already been, to every creation being another's conception. This limitation is concealed by the breadth of its experience. It possesseth the means to retain the knowledge of entire eras, and not only of this reflection, yet it perceiveth not this knowledge as we do. Fact, fiction, distinction holdeth no meaning for Omega. All is equal in size. If a thing is logical, it can be created. Ha ha ha! Such a wondrous weapon should exist! It surpasses my wildest imaginings, and they were wild indeed. But I gather not everyone shares my excitement. What's the matter, Garland? Lost your nerve? Quiet, Nero. We adults are thinking. But mayhap now is not the time. Rin said she was ready to continue, so am I. Let's deal with Halicarnassus. Time for FFXIV 3! Or Deltascape 3, whatever. And then again, I think the next one after this is Cutest, which that's going to be a pain. I veritably hate that particular one. Oh, I didn't win the orchestrion. I see that. That's alright. It doesn't actually matter where I go. I just need to get to... Well, actually, it kind of does, because I need to get to a city that has a market board, so... But yeah, that said... I guess I will do a quick pause and we can resume when next the queue doth pop. Oop, I almost forgot to unpause. But I guess I could wait on unpausing for, you know, when I'm actually when I actually get into the instance, but it's fine. Excuse me, good lord. Halicarnassus. I totally missed her that she had dialogue. Whatever. Stand in the front cone. Work? That was weird. Maybe I didn't select who I thought I did. Blade fire! I wonder how quickly this one will go. I mean, I don't, I don't have, like high level gear. I don't have level 70 gear. So I'm not very helpful in the whole speeding things up part. Tank! You understand the rules, you're clever. I like clever people. Boom! Not that she uses that mechanic at all until like the second phase. And most people don't even see phase 2 anymore. It's kind of like Glacia Labolis in that regard. I have a whole macro for that, actually. I have a set of macros to help out Sprouts when I do mostly the Crystal Tower raids. I'm still technically working on the others. But I'll be in front of her. Okay, then this one's where she places them all along the safe areas. Oops, I didn't see she moved. Now she does Queen's Waltz. Luna! Got wrecked. Poor Luna Tetris over there. Ah, 0.5%. It's fine. She'll die instantly as soon as this section's done. I'm just following the people who seem to know exactly where to go. I don't know if it's always the same, like, path or what. But some people just seem to instantly know where to go. Hmm? Like I said, instant. The moment she was available, she dies. Because she was that low on HP. GG. No loot worth rolling on, just a classic 8 gear pieces. I mean, I guess I could look at the gear here, but I think I remember doing that. I don't think I cared for any of them. Glad you're safe, friend. For a moment there, I feared you might croak. Forgive me, you deserve better than that. Thanks to you, we are but one victory away from clearing the Deltascape. Take as much rest as you need, old friend. Earned it. Axe Death. Avoid at all costs. Sid is eager to tackle the Deltascape's final test subject. Yay! I hate this one so much. It's not that bad now, but back in Endwalker, when we only had level 90 gear, it sucked. Next battle was with Subject Delta 4, this test world's final resident. From what I've been able to gather, your opponent is, and I quote, a great tree born of an agglomeration of evil will, which assumes the form of a dark mage. All of which I suggest you ignore. His name is Cutest, and he plays the role of chief antagonist in another ancient tale. Though I was unable to glean the specifics of his abilities, he appears to command the power of the void, as indeed the story states. When I first encountered the work, I naturally assumed said power to be a metaphor of sorts, but I'm quite sure Omega will have interpreted it as something more tangible. Alas, no amount of analysis can tell us what may happen when Cutest calls upon the power of the void, which is to say, beware. Tell me something, Nero. What happened at the end of the tale? Why, good triumphs over evil, and the heroes defeat Cutest, of course. What did you expect? I expected exactly that, which is precisely what troubled me earlier. If the heroes won, why did Omega not make them its test subjects? If it seeks to determine the strongest being, why would it bother with those who were defeated? One moment, Link Pearl. Ah, Biggs! At the control room, are you? What news? I see. Very well, I'll tell the others. You two take care over there. Sorry for the interruption. That was Biggs. He reports that the stasis system shows every sign of being engaged, despite the fact that it clearly isn't. It can only be a malfunction, but we were able to turn it off, so it would seem the reverse is not possible. The system may have taken damage during the calamity. Does it look like it can be repaired? Hard to say. They tell me it seems complex even by Elegon standards. While they may be able to fix it, there's no telling how long it might take. Well then, we must keep on fighting the good fight here, must we not? Nero has the right of it. At this time, focusing on Cutest would seem to be our only recourse. Chocobo certainly has no objections. Come on then. I would see you follow in the footsteps of the heroes of the tale. Very curious. Why indeed does does Omega test us against the enemies and not the heroes who won? Does that not make them stronger after all? Now we'll see if anybody's actually doing Deltascape 4. I could imagine this would be one that people aren't exactly queuing into. Due to, well, the fact that it's kind of ridiculously hard. So, that said, it looks like this egg has a screen on it. I'm wondering if that is Sigmascape over there. or even Alphascape. And if that, in fact, that probably is Sigmascape, because I think this is Alphascape here, the big one. So that might be Sigmascape right there, which means this may have actually been blank initially when people did this in Stormblood, and that was added to that particular egg when Sigmascape came out. So with that, since it doesn't look like we're getting in immediately here, I'll go ahead and do another little pause, and we'll come back whenever the queue pops. Alrighty. Time for X-Death. Little creation, the power of the void. I love though that his like colors are still all wacky and wild, even in 3D. It's like, yeah, that's how he looked in 2D. You know, because it was on the freaking, what, SNES, probably? Maybe even NES. Okay, I'm main tanking, because the other tank didn't even pop their, thing. Didn't even pop their, tank spec. Tank stance. Which is fine, I guess. I have lightning resistance down. Move for Pyretic. Oh yay. Freaking. Ha! Boy, everybody is getting hit by everything. That's fun. Oops. I guess I missed that was what that did last time. That's a bunch of people that just just died. Or not. Thought that like killed you at the end of the cooldown, or at the end of the timer. Maybe it's conditional. I mean, that would make sense. But I don't really remember this guy's mechanics, if I can be honest. I just know I don't want to be in the black hole. Ow. I was moving when Pyretic went off. Unfortunately. Black hole. Let's not get caught in the black hole. Oh, Lucy apparently turned on her tank spec at some point. So is that not the one that you want to run away from? I don't know. Decisive battle. You want to be over here. Because otherwise that happens. I think we lose. Did not see that one coming. Did not see him pushing me off. So whoopsies. We might not lose, because they didn't get killed by the zombify. So that's another black hole. I wasn't moving. I forgot to start moving. Meteor! He sure likes casting Meteor. It's not as beneficial to him as he seems to think it is, though. Why, the void was mine to command! Yeah, the whole EX phase in Savage. Where he goes EX Death Omega. Or EX or whatever. Yeah, the whole second phase where he like becomes an even bigger thing. Which is cool. But holy crap. Like, good lord. Alrighty. We have one. Frinchan, thank the gods you're safe. When the shell around this place began to crack, we feared the worst. I usually don't include the Chan, but I read it. Given that all of us are present corporeal, does that mean this area is no longer the Deltascape? Deltascape shut down complete. Alpha Group is victorious. Congratulations. Your combat record has been archived for future matchmaking. Results from other test worlds are still pending. In the meantime, please tend to your hearts and await further instructions. And with that, we've taken a significant step towards solving the mystery that is Omega. It hasn't been easy, but all in all, I'd say things were proceeding rather smoothly. couldn't have done it without you, old friend. Come, let us return to reality and enjoy what rest we can. Things are proceeding smoothly indeed. Too smoothly. 'Tis well that thou harborest doubts, mortal, but they are misplaced. Omega could have conducted its tests in complete secrecy unbeknownst to all. Yet only did it betray its presence to you that allowed you to come this far. Alpha, what art thou truly? The instrument of the mortal's triumph, or the bait that lureth them unto the abyss? Thou knowest not thine own purpose, then we can but watch and wait. The voice changer makes the air conditioner louder, unfortunately. Sorry about that. Freaking, I'm not even running the air conditioner, I'm running it on fan. Outcome unexpected. Projections gave Delta subjects the upper hand. Outcome supports hypothesis. As previously observed, certain beings may unleash hidden potential when subjected to stress. Initiating new tests. Subject alpha group members to severe stress. Searching database for suitable event. Event found. The death of a comrade. Uh-oh. That doesn't sound good. It's good to be back on solid ground. Thank you again, old friend. You did well too, Alpha. Fearlessly going into battle whenever you were called upon. We're glad to have you with us. Speaking of which, are you comfortable joining us out there? Or out here, rather? I'll take that as a yes. Well then, at the risk of obeying Omega's orders, I suggest we permit ourselves a moment to respite. Mayhap I should take this opportunity to complete the results of our investigation thus far. No rest for the righteous. At the anomaly. Sid looks calmer for having reached a milestone in the investigation. Right then, let's head back to Valgar's Reach. Jesse will want to know exactly what we've been up to. Alright. And off we go back to Valgar's, however you say it, Reach. I want to know what made this gigantic hole in the mountain. You know? Plus, I don't think that lines up with the yawn, so I don't think that, like, gigantic hole there is part of that. I think that might be this. But I don't actually know. But seriously though, I want to know what made this gigantic hole in this mountain up here. There might be a side quest about it somewhere. I just haven't done it. Whoops, I'm going the wrong way. It's fine. Again, I could have just teleported, I suppose, but it is what it is. It doesn't take too long to get up here. Though some that watch may think otherwise, because, you know, freaking YouTube, people who watch YouTube nowadays, you know. And that's not a jab at any of you, you know. If you're watching my content, you don't really care then. Welcome back, Rind. Told you've been blazing a trail for us. The way I hear it, our investigation would have long since ground to a halt without you. I realize you're mostly interested in saving the world. I want you to know how much I appreciate you helping the company out like this. Frankly, we need all the help we can get. With our esteemed president diving headlong into the jaws of danger without a word of warning to anyone, irresponsible doesn't begin to describe it. You didn't tell her? I did, after a fashion. Though I may have exercised some executive discretion. No stranger to your lone endeavors, or your habit of confusing personal and company interests. Just because you've always done things a certain way, doesn't make it the right way. Until you wake up to your responsibilities, I'm gonna keep reminding you of them. But such irksome matters aside, aren't you just the most adorable little thing? He followed you here all of his own free will, did he? Which means he's basically part of the family. And why wouldn't he grant us exclusive rights to use his likeness? So we start off with a simple clockwork version. They'll be queuing up in the streets. Oh, you can't be... What in the seven hells has gotten into you? Listen, if I've caused you any distress, I apologize, but I will not have you comment our guest's marketability. Where are Biggs and Wedge? Shouldn't they be back by now? Oh? Thought you might have sent them off on another unauthorized mission. As I heard from them, said they were scouring Omega Control for anything useful. It's been a good while ago now, though. Don't like the sound of this. Though we have all the necessary permissions, there is technically a theater of war, and one littered with unknown Alcan artifacts to boot. Something may well have befallen them. You'd best take the Excelsior and go and find them. Leaving again so soon? Nero, Rin, I want you two to accompany the chief. Make sure he doesn't do anything rash or take any detours. Consider it done. So bring him back even if I have to drag him by the goggle straps. Quick, quick, quick! Want to come along, eh? It's probably for the best. If we leave you here, Jesse is liable to take a mold of you. Right, let's get moving. I'll bring the airship to Gridania. Wait for me at the landing. Off to the landing, which is down here. But seriously though, if I was like a regular professional YouTuber, like not cutting out me running to this place would be like a sin. Looks like we're all here. Let's make haste to the Cardinal Flats. Like, I know that we do get to go to, you know, places like this for Cartano, but still. It would be really awesome to get a Cartano zone. Go on ahead to the control room, Rin. We'll follow as soon as we've moored the Excelsior. Uh-oh. This doesn't look right. Seven Hills. Big Swedge. Are you all right? Answer me. Chief? Rin? A monster appeared out of thin air. Targets exhibit vital signs. Mission failed. However, Alpha Group members exhibit heightened level of stress. Objective fulfilled. Mega? You set that thing upon them. Affirmative. I'm able to create simple life forms instantaneously at any temporal or spatial coordinate. Such beings may pose a negligible threat to you, however. They are more than sufficient to grievously wound or kill the majority of your kind. I could instigate a massacre at any time, and you would be powerless to prevent it. Do I detect a shift in policy? Quantity over quality? Negative. My objective remains unchanged. Evolution through formidable opposition. However, in the case of seeking suitable subjects, I observed an anomaly. Those whom you call heroes. History shows numerous instances or otherwise unremarkable individuals who have defeated vastly superior beings, who triumphed in the face of apparently impossible odds, who performed what are properly termed miracles. This has occurred too frequently to be dismissed as a mere statistical aberration. I seek to understand this phenomenon. Should it prove to be of benefit, I will incorporate it into my own evolution. It is for this purpose that I brought you to my domain. So putting on a show at the Yawn and planting Elf in our midst was but a part of your grand plan. By your victories, you have just demonstrated the self-same anomaly. You are fit to remain my subjects. You will continue participating in my experiments. Withdraw, and I will commence the extermination of your kind. This is an order, a threat, a declaration of war. I am an enemy to all life upon this star. Goody. It should seem we have much to ponder. First things first, we must tend to our friends. Quickly, help me carry them. Oops! Garland and Alpha took our two wounded to the Conjurers Guild. Chief bids me lend a hand, so I suppose I shall take myself there too. You, meanwhile, are returned to return to Relgar's reach and report to Jesse. Alright. Back to Relgar then. And this is probably the last quest for this raid. Because this seems like a stopping point in the story. You know, send me back to Jesse and all that. Finn, I heard there was trouble. What in the seven hells happened? What? Omega loosened a fiend on Biggs and Wedge? Toying with people's lives like it was all a game. This is madness. Sir, will they be alright? The worst is past, but they still drift in and out of consciousness. They'll remain in the Conjurer's care for a time. All we could do is wait and pray. God struck me down for a fool. Should have been more mindful of the dangers. Should never have what? Activated Omega. Know as well as I do that there was no other way to defeat Shinryu. But is this truly any better? All of mankind is being held to ransom. As the one who activated Omega, I bear the responsibility. The responsibility. Just the kind of thing the new you would say. You are deluding yourself, Garland. We are scientists, not heroes. Even you must concede your talents do not extend to combat. The old you understood this far better. He only looked forwards. Gave himself wholly to science. And then you changed. You styled yourself a pacifist and started spouting tripe about the proper use of technology. It was in the wake of your old man's mishap at Boja, I believe. Calm yourself. All I wish to say is, embrace who you are. A man who devotes his mind to making the impossible possible. With little prospect of restoring the stasis system, I'm afraid we have no recourse but to continue participating in Omega's tests. Assuming Midgar Somar has the right of it, we face a legion of foes from history, both real and imagined. Though I may not be the one who charges into the fray, I shall fight beside you as best I know how. That said, it will inevitably fall to you to administer the coup de grace, old friend. So please, for Biggs and Wedge and all of us, don't lose. Whee! I reckon the little scamp is trying to encourage us. You've fallen far indeed to earn its pity, said the former tribunus. Until such time as Omega next extends us an invitation, you will find me analyzing the data from our investigation. Good evening to you. Before they were attacked, Biggs and Wedge discovered a tombstone. I shall examine its contents and make the information available on the terminal over there as I extract it. Feel free to refer to it whenever the occasion arises. There's no telling when Omega will summon us, but we must all see that we are ready when it does. Fear not, old friend. We'll get through it together. Somehow or other. Yay! Delta Force! And of course, the Savage Initiative. Which I'm just gonna, you know, quick skip through because this is literally just unlocking the Savage raids. Proven to possess potent healing properties. Deltascape Savage now accessible. Alright, well, just like I did with Return to Ivalice, I'm going to split this up into 3 parts. I didn't think I was going to do that initially, so I just like blazed through everything. When I was putting everything together, I was like, I'm going to just split this up into the 3 parts. So that's why there were some like really sudden cuts in the last one. And why like the outro on all 3 were all the same. Because I literally just took the last outro I did and then stuck it on to the end. So but yeah, I guess with that, I hope you've enjoyed. If you did, feel free to subscribe. You can usually see me stream live over at twitch.tv/SereneInc. This was not streamed live. This was pre-recorded. But I do stream live. I do stream other things live over there. So come on out, check it out, hang out with us, and all that. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.